Yeah. What's this? Is this month 2? Every day for 2 months? I appreciate y'all for being here. Lunch and News with DotSale. Let's get into it. It's Monday. It's a new week. We got a lot going on. This week is gonna be crazy. Like, there was so much I wanted to get to today. I kind of just had to pick and choose. So I was thinking we can talk a little. We got to talk Halloween because Halloween's coming up in like 4 days. So I'm super excited for that. So I think we'll start out with that. And then we're going to get into some of the crime and the shutdown situations that are going on. Yeah, we definitely got a whole bunch that we got to get to. So let me actually start by getting y'all fed first because I got to make sure y'all are taken care of. Every day I feed y'all because I consider y'all family and the best audience on the internet, and it's not even close. So give yourself a round of applause. I need y'all to understand how important you are and how much you make a difference in this world. All right, so I need y'all to understand that. Let's get straight into the food though, because we're still doing Halloween till we get to Friday, which is Halloween Day, which I'm very excited for. We're gonna continue on the Halloween theme. Then I'm thinking we might do something special for November, but we'll leave that a surprise. Until then, I want to show you what we're gonna have today. You can see the ingredients laid out here. And I just want to give credit to this content creator. So her name is Megan Ashley. Megan Ashley. She has 2 first names as her name. So, okay, that's pretty cool. Megan Ashley. And she has 2.21 subscribers. So basically 2,200 subscribers at the time of this recording. So go ahead and pull up on Megan Ashley on YouTube. You can give her a like for this video, maybe sub to her, and then go from there. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna sub to her real quick. Where's the sub button? We see a sub button down in the corner. I'm going to sub to her right now. You're going to scroll down. You see it right there. Oh, hold on. Yeah, we got it right there. I just subbed to her. I just subbed to Megan Ashley, so y'all can do the same. And we're going to give her a like. We always want to help out content creators. There's enough room here for all of us. We're all in our own bubble. There's some people that watch my show that don't watch other people's shows all the time. And I think that, for us, we all just got to create our own lane, create our own niche, create our own fan base, our own following, our own core, and it will be good from there. So shout out to Megan Ashley. Hopefully she does well. Let's check out what she's got for us. We'll let her do her intro, and then we'll kind of skip ahead quickly because her video is like 15 minutes long. We won't listen or watch nearly that much. She got the spooky music too. See what she's got going on. Okay, this looks like it's gonna be good. Got the kids involved. I like it.
Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I have brought you another Halloween meal idea. Today I have whipped up 3 easy dinner ideas, and they all have like a little bit of a spooky factor. The kids love all of these. I love all of these. Everything turned out really good. So no complaints on our end. Before you guys leave, I would love it if you gave me a thumbs up and subscribe. I make all sorts of content like this: motherhood, cooking, cleaning, and I post every week over on this channel. So I would love it if you stuck around and help my little baby channel grow a little bit. We are going to get started with some rat meatloaf. Yes, you heard me correct. Rat meatloaf. These turned out so good. I am so impressed with myself. I just am. That's all I have to say. I will link all of the recipes down below in the description box so you guys can get actual measurements. I always do. I usually just give you guys kind of like an overview of what I do and how I put things together, and then I'll leave the actual creators and like specific ingredient amounts listed down below. So definitely check out my description box after, and everything that you need will be down there. So this is just like a basic meatloaf recipe. I believe what I actually did was like I found the inspiration for the rats on one blog and then like on Pinterest, but then I actually just looked up a recipe for, it was like a 2-person meatloaf because I didn't have a full pound of meat here. I weighed it just to be sure. It was 0.7 pounds. So I just put up a recipe that was a meatloaf for 2 so that I had like accurate kind of measurements. So I will link both. I will link the rat so that we can give credit to the person who kind of designed this. And then I will link the recipe that just has a meatloaf for 2 in case you're just cooking a small amount. Like not everybody has a large family. You know, you don't have to make a full pound of meatloaf all the time. Although I will say this like 0.7 was the perfect amount. Addison and I each had 2 rats and then the girls shared 1.
All right, let's speed ahead on this. I was trying to change the thumbnail, but
so if you can find the Old El Paso burrito
afterwards.
seasoning, I definitely recommend that. I just had taco seasoning on hand and I couldn't find the burrito.
All right, that's fun. That's cool.
Is absolutely fine. So then Oakley's gonna come in and help. I'm gonna slice them up. Harper is spreading the pizza sauce. This one's so easy, especially if you're on a busy dinner recipe. Do you guys have a tradition? What do you like to do for
that for real looks like a whole octopus
thank
squid.
You guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys being here so much, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.
So let's go ahead and go back to the beginning. I want to give her, a good amount of time. I always like to show love to the new content creators. I think we need to look out for each other. So we'll leave it right there. So that's what we're having. Help yourself. Have as much as you'd like. And let's go ahead and get into the show. Go ahead and have your wrap meatloaf. Your wrap meatloaf sounds crazy, bro. I don't know what type of meat she used either, but I'm gonna go plant-based. I'm gonna go vegan for mine. So we're gonna use plant-based for mine, but everybody else, y'all can do whatever you want to. You can have an actual rat meat if you want to. It's Halloween. You can get away with some spooky things right now, all right? You can get away with some spooky things. We're in a weird time right now though. And it's kind of strange because I really enjoy Halloween, but a lot of people, especially amongst this government shutdown and everything that's going on in the world right now, I say more like America though, I guess in this situation, because we celebrate Halloween and other countries don't necessarily celebrate Halloween in the same way. But right now, Halloween, one of my favorite holidays, I call it a holiday, people are starting to feel the pinch. So they're saying that Halloween costume prices are so high that it's becoming unaffordable. This is crazy. Let's see what's going on. Let's go ahead and go to the story right here. So if you're still like last minute shopping for a Halloween costume and you ain't got nothing yet, be ready to spend a little bit of extra money.
Exactly 2 weeks away, and you may be in for a scare when you're shopping for your Halloween costume.
That's right. Fox 5 Jessica from Moser takes a closer look at the spooky sticker shock that might be waiting for you.
This Halloween, there's something even scarier than these masks, the price tags on the costumes.
I have 3 kids. I spent almost $200.
What did you spend last year?
Probably spent about $100 last year.
Both.
Both of them, yeah.
You're spending double this year.
Yeah.
She's not the only one frightened by the prices this year.
Usually for like Halloween, I just make my own costume because just regular costumes are like just so much money.
The culprit? The tariffs. Many of the Halloween products come from China, making imports more expensive, which leads to store-wide price increases. The Halloween and Costume Association tells Fox 5 tariffs on imported products from China and supply chain challenges have affected product availability.
I just want to stop there, and I'll get to the rest of it. It's about another minute left, but I just want to talk about the whole tariff situation and this issue with China. I don't really believe it, and the reason why is because the biggest debt that we have as a country is to China. So why wouldn't they call in their debt? And anybody that has better information, go ahead and let me know. I'm just speaking from a common sense standpoint, from just probably like just wondering a little bit. Like if we owe China, let me just see something real quick. Let me check something real quick. We're gonna get right back to it because I'm actually curious. How much does the U.S. owe China? We're just gonna check it out real quick. All right. I'll go ahead and pull it back up before we get back into that story. Because they keep talking about these tariffs, but it's like, okay, all right. As of late 2024, the U.S. owes China approximately 79 to 89 billion. Let's just round up to $1 trillion. So we owe China $1 trillion. However, we're telling them that we're going to charge them an insane amount of money just to bring products into the U.S. Well, why don't they say, oh, okay, you don't want to let us sell our cheap merchandise in your country? We just gonna go ahead and have y'all pay that debt right now. We gonna call our debt right now. We ain't borrowing you no more money until you pay us. So, you know, we got to look a little more into this whole tariff situation and all of that, because I think it's just a misdirection that we're dealing with right now. But it's just a side note that I've been thinking about. But let's go back into what's going on with the Halloween costumes, because this is the reality. Regardless of if we're being, you know, misdirected with why the prices are actually going up, the prices are still going up. They might call it tariffs. It probably is something else, but this is what we're dealing with. We can't even get costumes for Halloween. It's insane. What about the kids?
And contributed to higher prices. For these costumes, people are paying 20, even 30% more. Families say that's too much.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I know a lot of people are really, really struggling right now, and it's awful.
Everyone is feeling it across the board.
My online business is down, and everybody is, because of the tariffs.
Joe Persampierre, president of HauntedProps.com,
Everybody's saying the tariffs.
also has
I don't
a
believe
storefront in Manorville. He says he's lucky he hasn't had to raise his prices, and it's only because he has inventory left over from last year, which allows him to keep the prices the same. However, he's had to cancel some orders coming from overseas.
I had numerous orders placed. We place our orders a year in advance. We expect to get the goods in the summertime. If it went up 30%, we'd have to raise our prices.
Joe, like many Halloween stores, bank on the month of October to make most of their money. He says if this continues, he doesn't know how he will manage next Halloween.
It'd be very difficult, and what I'd have to do is go in other avenues.
And although the increases are not welcomed, according to the National Retail Federation, it projects Halloween spending to reach a record $13.1 billion nationally, up from $11.6 billion last year. In Manorville,
we're dealing with some weird things, because it's like people are still spending money, but they also don't have money. People are getting laid off, but somehow they're still driving like 2026 vehicles. I mean, I know that they got like 15-year payments where they're paying like $500 a month for it, but then like their interest is like insanely high, and they're ending up paying like an extra $50,000 for like a $60,000 car over their lifelong payments. And you know, I think we should start some type of Patreon where we just talk finances, because I really think that, you know, at this point, I'm seeing a lot of people making some very strange mistakes with their money. But back to what's going on with the Halloween costume prices. We were actually at the mall, and we went to Spirit. You know, they got the Spirits where they all pop up throughout the city, usually around like the month of September. And Spirit Halloween costumes actually has a very, very unique story in the way that they acquire. Like, they'll take abandoned buildings and they'll, you know, rent them out so they can sell Halloween stuff. We were in the store, and I did make a couple of purchases in there. I got some face paint for the kids and stuff like that. And I didn't really think that the prices were extremely high in there. But, you know, I think what we see is a lot of people it's other parts of their lives that really affect other parts of their lives. So we're seeing this weird situation where it's like you have to pick and choose what's important to you. Like, do you want to get Halloween costumes or do you want to drink your beer? Do you want to get Halloween costumes or do you want to go out to a high-end restaurant? I think that we're trying to do everything, and now we have to pick and choose one or the other. For me, I definitely enjoy Halloween, so, we made some purchases, but it wasn't that much. And face paint is always going to be one of the cheapest options. If nothing else, go ahead and you can have some fun painting your face and doing all that. You usually get all the colors that you need for probably under $15, and you could probably paint about 5 or 6 faces off of one kit. So, there's options out there. But Halloween costumes are spiking, and it is kind of crazy. So how are y'all doing with your whole Halloween costume situation? Are you just pulling out costumes from last year? Do you got to get the latest costumes that are out and stay up to date? There's a lot of options out there. But I want to look at one kid that said, you know what? I don't really need a Halloween costume because naturally I already look like the person that I want to be for Halloween. All I really need to do is go get a Burger King crown and then throw it on, and I'm going to be the hottest Halloween costume this year, next to Spider-Man, of course. Let's check out this kid right here that is doing the right thing. Little mini Biggie Smalls right here. With style and grace, allow me to lace these lyrical bushes. Choose the autumn mommies. Sipping my wet, the crudest way you harm me. Shout out to this kid, man. He might be able to play in the next Biggie movie. Let's check it out.
Give him an extra scoop.
And they got the Biggie music playing in the background.
You looking like...
Now we're gonna play without the sound just in case they block it for whatever reason. You know how they be on YouTube. And I don't get it. Like, honestly, I don't know why people block your music, because when they do that, I just remove the sound. So when you catch it live, you get to see everything. But sometimes if you watch the VOD or the VOD playback, like, you don't get the sound on some of this, or a whole segment will be clipped out. But it's like, why not keep it in there and have your stuff being promoted, right? Especially if you're doing it in a good light. I usually don't talk bad about things. I speak the reality, but I don't necessarily talk negative. But yeah, I think this kid's costume is awesome. Hopefully he gets a little bit of virality, and, maybe he can get like a casting call or something and play like a young Biggie Smalls and be able to change his life for the better. So, I think it's awesome. And he does look a lot like the older Biggie, actually. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how this kid can monetize this this publicity that he's getting. So very, very interesting. And it just shows, right? I mean, sometimes you just got to play yourself as Halloween, and then you don't have to worry about the inflated prices as far as what's going on, what they say with the tariffs, which we're going to have to look into a little bit more because I don't believe it. But it's all interesting. It is all interesting. So shout out to this kid. And I think I want to look at a little more Halloween stuff because we're getting really close to Halloween, and I cannot wait till Friday. I want to do some things leading up. I want to do some stuff with the kids. I've already done some stuff with them over the weekend. I want to do at least one adult thing. So I'm going to figure that out. Maybe actually on Halloween because it's on a Friday. So, it's going to be kind of cool. And I got some very, very special things planned for our show on Friday. So you definitely have to pull up for Halloween Friday. It's going to be an event. I have some really, really fun things planned for us, all right? But there's other people out in the world that do not have the same type of mindset that I have, and they hate the kids. They want to do whatever they can to begin to hurt people, and especially the kids on Halloween. Let's go ahead and look at what one person is deciding to do with his Halloween candy. I want to go to this guy first, and we'll look at a news story. Let's check this dude out here, this creep. And we see this every year where there's some type of situation with Halloween candy. And it's one of the reasons that, when I grew up, I always had to give my candy to my mother first, or, an adult, and be like, here's my whole bag of candy before I ate a single piece. And they would go through and check every piece before they gave it to us. I don't know if they still do that now. I still do. You know, I'm like, yo, let me check your candy first. But, you know, it's kind of crazy. Let's check this creep out and see what he's doing with Halloween candy and putting it on the internet. And this is actually a real video, by the way.
So this is what we're doing. Okay. All right. This says, if I see any children dressed up in some MAGA type like costume, like this little worm, I'm going to be giving them my special hashtag fentanyl laced candy. Hashtag Antifa action. Okay. Well, so for everybody, there you go. This shouldn't matter whether you're Republican, whether you're Democrat, whether you're independent, whether you don't give a shit about politics. Antifa against America. That is what we have. And yet they claim that this is anti-fascism. No, what you are is a direct domestic terrorist. And I'm going to tell you what. You're going to start opening a can of worms that you don't want. I can assure you. So
we're going to keep him up right there. That's the end of his video. So, you know, when you see people like this, and look, when somebody says something, believe them. I believe this guy. I believe he's absolutely capable and will do this. And, you know, since then, his page has been taken down. He's been spread around the internet, and, you know, you can go ahead and look him up and all that. I don't want to give him more publicity than necessary, unless they're going to go ahead and make an arrest and throw him in jail over Halloween. I mean, he should have to go to jail for the whole month of October through November every single year, so he doesn't have an opportunity to do anything mischievous to kids. And when you start to bring kids into it, I have no remorse for you whatsoever. Kids are completely off limits. Halloween candy is off limits. It's like poisoning your water supply. Like, to poison Halloween candy is insane, because I'm pretty sure that this creep doesn't have kids. And that's a growing problem that we're seeing with people is, you know, the first thing he calls the kid is a little worm. I don't care if a kid dresses up like Donald Trump. I don't care if a kid dresses up like Joe Biden and acts like he has dementia. Like, who the hell cares, right? Like, it's a Halloween costume. A lot of times when you're dressing up in a Halloween costume, you don't even necessarily have to like the character that you're dressing up as. Sometimes you have admiration for him, but I don't like Jason, but I might go out and wear a Jason mask. So it's like, you know, for this guy to, you know, put this video out and be serious like this is definitely something where the FBI needs to go ahead and
FBI, open up!
Kicking his door at gunpoint and go ahead and toss him in jail for the whole holiday. Matter of fact, yeah. So every year moving forward for this guy from September until let's go January 20th, he needs to be locked in a maximum federal prison, 23-hour lockdown. We'll let him come out for a 20-minute shower. He can get 20-minute rec time and, you know, give him like 20 minutes to do whatever else. And then put him back in there for another 23 hours from September until January. And then, you know, we can't keep him in there forever. It's a bit inhumane. Although this guy has no humanity. So, you know, we'll begin to hear stories like this as we get into Halloween. And unfortunately, there's going to be some stories that come out Saturday, Sunday, where, you know, kids were affected by Halloween. And I just think it really sucks. And we hear this every year, and it's just terrible. But I did want to go to a news story that also accentuates this and shows that, you know, it's not just this guy. And we have to definitely be careful when we're taking our kids out or the candy that we're consuming from strangers, which most people are going to be great. Most people are great. That guy right there is definitely an exception, but all it takes is one or two people to affect a handful of kids or, you know, a bunch of kids, and then all of a sudden it's a tragedy. So the police are warning people to be careful of drug-laced candy and chips. Let's check out the story.
A short time ago, Warren police sent out this photo. It looks like your typical candy that you find at the grocery store or a drugstore, or certainly passed out on Halloween.
I'm not gonna lie, that looks like the weed candy, like the runts. I don't see runts on there, but they actually, and that's one of the things that suck with like the vape pens, the cigarettes, tobacco, all of that. They actually advertise it towards kids because they need to get a younger audience because all the old people are. Oh, I got it. Hold on. This is what's happening to all the old people. No, I want to find it right here. Because they've been smoking cigarettes. Then they try to move over to vape pens, and then, like, you know, that's not much better for you. And they smoke a lot of weed and stuff. But the problem is that, you know, advertising to kids, it works because they're very impressionable. And then, you know, here you got this. So let's see what else is going on.
Halloween, but it's not. Police say they found several bags of candy, chips, and snacks that contain THC and psychedelic mushrooms during a search of a Warren home. So now they want all parents and kids to be alert when they're trick-or-treating. For more on this, we have Lieutenant John Gajewski with the Warren Police Department joining us live. Lieutenant, thank you very much. First of all, this is pretty alarming. Like, we always talk about the potential for nefarious people to be doing things or putting things in candy. But when you look at these bags, anybody would assume that it's safe and legit.
Oh, absolutely, Nick. I think, you know, for any parents out there, this is a great lesson because these items fooled trained police officers, right? Let alone 4 and 5 or, you know, 6-year-old kids. So our investigators, when they were searching this residence, they looked at these items and at first glance paid no attention to it. It was only going back and inspecting further did they realize that these items aren't quite what they're advertised to be. HC, you do see in one of the other packages, they do have, it's called medicated. And again, that's fine and well, but to your average child, they're either not going to know what that is, or they're going to be so excited with the, you know, excitement of Halloween, they're going to open the bag and get right to the candy like any of us would as a kid.
Right.
So again, that's why we're wanting to put this out there and just, if you're a parent or a kid, give that moment a pause before just excitedly diving into the candy.
Right. So, which also opens up another question too, because, you know, we're in a changing world where more things like this are legal than they used to be. So, the candy.
Yeah, Cooley. Kids absolutely off limits. Talking about this guy right here. Yeah, this guy that said he's gonna poison kids with fentanyl if they're dressed as someone that he doesn't like for Halloween. So, you know, if you're dressed as Chucky and he was scared as Chucky as a kid, or the Sandman, and he's gonna try to get you killed and overdose on fentanyl. Which, you know, a threat like this has to be taken very seriously. So, you know, kids 100% off limits, man. Like, this guy is just, he's complete evil. And this is a person that you'll see right here with his jagged teeth. He'll go ahead and smile in your face, and he'll look like he's just a pure person. Just a pure person. You'll look at him, you'll say, oh, he's a good guy. And he'll be one of the most evil people on the planet. And you won't know until it's too late. But he's went ahead and gave us the opportunity to see him. So now I'm going to need Cash Patel. He's out here running around trying to arrest Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier for exploiting people that are foolish gamblers betting on prop bets. Why don't you go ahead and pick this guy up, Cash? Because, you know, he has deleted his X account when we go through and look at some of the comments. But, you know, this is real. This is real. So people are trying to find the guy, and eventually they'll catch him. But yeah, they're saying the DEA should know what's going on. So yeah, we gotta get this guy off the streets. But yeah, you're 100% right. Kids off limits 100%. And shout out to, you know, everybody putting the word out to be a little more diligent. We need to definitely go back to the times where we were checking candy before we allowed kids to have it, and make sure that we're keeping kids protected, because, you know, I think Halloween is one of the last days where, or last holidays, like I said, I call it a holiday. I don't think it technically is one, but it's one of the last holidays where we actually go out and interact with people. Like, it's just like any other time period in the world, where we don't use digital media to actually celebrate Halloween. Like, we go to people's houses, we walk up to people's houses, we interact with them, trick or treat, we have some fun. Please and thank you should always be said by the kids receiving their candy. And there's even some good where people, if they can't be home, they'll just put a bucket of candy on the porch and just say, take one piece, please. And, you know, everybody's excited. They're sitting there waiting on their porch. They got bonfires. They got all kind of different things going on for Halloween. And the kids are excited to run up and see these people. And they just look like great people. So when you got creeps like this guy, you know, running around, and he's supposed to be something that the kids look up to and be like, this guy's really cool, man. He's got like candy for us. And he puts fentanyl in it to try to kill you because he doesn't like the costume you have on. You know, it just sucks. And as we go through, I'm sure we'll see more people posting idiotic stuff like this. So I will keep y'all up to date as we lead into Halloween, where we're going to have a very, very fun show. But definitely want to put the awareness out here regarding this. So shout out to the news for letting us know what's going on. See if we got anything else on this story. We'll go to the end of it.
For a reason, because they work, right? Inspect the packaging. Don't eat any items that are not wrapped or, in a wrapper. Certainly, if something gets loose in your bag, might want to stay away from it, right? And if you have any questions, if you're a child out there, go to a parent, go to adult you trust. And if you're still not sure, come to your local police department, right? Yeah. As excited as we all are for Halloween, and as a parent myself, it's definitely worth the extra couple of minutes to make sure your child is getting the right candy or the right snacks.
Absolutely.
And it sucks too, because kids are just so excited to just have fun and get out the house and collect as much candy as possible, you know, pillowcases and backpacks full of candy. And it's always fun when you get like the king size and all that, and you get the different types of size of candy. I appreciate you, Cooley, for your comment. And it's just crazy, right? And I just feel so bad for, the people that have to go through this every single year, because there's going to be some type of tragedy that's going to happen. And you can predict it like the sun coming up every day. Well, until it doesn't. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Let's talk about a few other things before we get out of here. Let's talk about SNAP benefits at risk amid government shutdown. This is a very recent story. We'll go ahead and listen to it, see what's going on. Then we'll look at some people and how they're reacting to the news of the government shutdown going down. And I'm keeping this filter on. No, could go here, but I'm keeping this on just because it's Halloween. You want to make it a little more scary. Do I look a little more scary with this, old filter on, the age filter? Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. All right, let's check this out.
The 1 month mark, more Americans are starting to feel
1 month in.
And the Trump administration is now warning that food assistance programs are just days away from running out of money. Doug Luzader joining us live from Washington this morning with more on where the funding stands right now. Good morning, Doug.
Good morning. Look at the pressure points here for Congress and the White House. Everything from food assistance to health insurance premiums to air travel. The days and nights pass on Capitol Hill without a solution, and those shutdown signs are a constant reminder of the slow motion standoff. But lawmakers from both parties are looking at the calendar.
I could keep an eye on November the 1st. November the 1st, our air traffic controllers will miss another paycheck. The military's do another paycheck right then. I think that'll probably be the sentinel moment that pushes us forward.
And the USDA, which administers...
They said that the military actually got a private donor to give like 3 months of aid to them. He gave like $130 million to the military or something. I don't know if the story's true, but that's what's going around. So looks like the military will be taken care of, but air traffic controllers, not so much.
Minister's SNAP food benefits posted a warning. Bottom line, the well has run dry. At this time, there will be no benefits issued November 1st. The Post also blames Democrats, who in turn blame Republicans.
The government is shut down because Republicans have done something unprecedented. They have refused to talk to Democrats about a bipartisan budget.
Democrats are still refusing to reopen the government without a renewal of COVID-era price supports for Obamacare plans, and we will soon see the new prices. But it may be air travel that finally breaks the fever, if millions of Americans find themselves stuck as more air traffic controllers call in sick. Veterans of the last shutdown, which set a record, remember how it played out.
At about the 25-day point out of 35, the stress on the controllers is really what broke the shutdown at that time, and we ended it.
I don't think it matters, bro. And honestly, never argue with a fool, because from a distance, you can't tell who is who. Whether the Democrats are messed up or the Republicans are messed up, it doesn't even matter. All we know is that we're in a shutdown and people are being furloughed. And this is actually the week where people are supposed to receive their checks that are government workers that are not getting a penny. But only the people at the bottom, all the people that make these decisions are still getting paid. They're living just fine. But everybody else below them is getting cooked. So my thing is this. We can't look at it as a people from a standpoint of like, these people are going to come in and help us, or it's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. They don't care because they're not affected, right? They're not next to you. It's similar. I guess the best way I can say it is most of the time, if you're watching me here on YouTube, you're not like at the bottom, right? Like you're not like homeless on the street, like living in a tent or something like that. So you got like some type of means. You don't feel the pain of people that are literally at the bottom, like homeless, like sleeping on a sleeping bag outside of a boarded up CVS in the hood, right? Or they got to take the light rail in round trips just to stay warm at night so they can find a way to sleep. And then right next to them is somebody smoking crack and fentanyl. And, you know, like, so it's just levels to life, right? The people at the top, they do not even see normal people, right? And I'll give you an example. Most of the people that watch this are probably going to be normal people, right? How often do you see, unless you're living like a major city, but just normally, do you see Bentleys? Do you see Lamborghinis? Do you see Ferraris? Do you see a Bugatti? You probably never seen a Bugatti. You're not seeing Beamers and like, you know, I8s and stuff like that. The reason why is because these people are just not in the same realm as you. Like, it's like they're in a whole different dimension. And that's one of the things that people don't realize is like, they don't recognize you at all or really understand the pain that you're going through. So, you know, we look at it and we say, some people say, well, you know, this is going to be bad on the Democrats. People are going to start voting Republican, or, you know, the Republicans are going to start voting Democrat because the Republicans are holding up and Trump is in this and this and that. To be honest, it doesn't even matter. Like, what's really going to end up happening is just faith in the government altogether, because when people are hungry, they can't hear none of this stuff. They don't hear none of your bickering or nothing. There's more important things that they got to deal with. So amidst this, we're starting to see, and I was going to play some more of these, but I'm actually going to go into what people are resorting to at this point because of the shutdown. Let's go ahead and check out this video real quick. How people are reacting, and you can take it however you want to take it. But I'll tell you this, it's going to keep on happening and it's going to get much worse. And we're looking at it in the Black community, but trust me, I can go through plenty of other communities where they're starting to feel the pinch.
Oh my goodness! Oh my God! They still it! They still it! They still it! Y'all not bold. Y'all ain't gonna leave out with it. I paid for this shit. This is outrageous. They all just still it.
That EBT ain't hit.
Y'all got mom and dad. Dirty as shit. That's not cute.
Now, here's the problem with this, right? Now, I got to give a little pushback because the bro got a Fanta in his hand. He got Ruffles, potato chips, beef jerky. Who else we got in here? She ain't even take nothing. He in the candy aisle. He over there taking Coca-Colas and Sprites. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bruh.
Eat your vegetables.
So, but this is the thing, though. You can't even get this in a gas station at all. And, you know, my thing is this, like, we got to stop shopping at gas stations altogether. You should not be getting or consuming food from a gas station whatsoever, unless you're taking a road trip. And even then, I would say just find a grocery store along the way. But, you know, oftentimes it's a little easier to go to a gas station. Like, this is just dumb. From a standpoint, it's like you're not even stealing to survive. You're just stealing just to do it. And all of y'all are on camera in 4K. So it's like you're probably going to end up going to jail. But actually, no, I take that back. They're not going to go to jail. They're They're not going to go to jail. I'm going to show you one guy that is a bit more sophisticated, though, that probably is going to end up going to jail. This guy right here stole a lot more than just candy and soda. So this guy here probably is going to go to jail eventually because for some reason, the FBI ain't trying to look into the corruption that's going up at the top of the government where it's like the government shutdown is affecting us all. He's actually more worried about things that are not a necessity at this exact time. But I want to see what's going on with this guy right here where he said, you know what? I ain't getting EBT. I'm going to go ahead and figure out what's going on. And I'm going to swipe $70,000 in valuables from 2 NYC storage units. Let's check it out.
Asking for your help. Have you seen this man? Police say that he stole thousands of dollars worth of stored valuables across the city. And News 12's Mike Lamort spoke with frustrated storage customers in East New York.
The man on your screen is wanted by police for breaking into 2 CubeSmart storage locations. Detectives say he stole close to $80,000 worth of items.
It's not funny. People pay for their, and you need to stop stealing from people.
Every day, Nikayla visits her unit at the Pennsylvania Avenue location.
It's like my safe haven. Like, I just come over here just to be away from everyone.
Well, investigators say that hideaway was broken into September 9th while the storage spot was closed. We're told the suspect entered multiple outdoor units, grabbing $61,000 worth of property.
People got stuff there that's very important. Paperwork, you know, stuff like that.
This is the car detectives believe he used to drive away and hit up another location in Queens. Within 7 days, the suspect managed to swipe $79,000 in stolen property. Customers say it's not even like you could just walk in.
If the fences is kind of high and something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's even barbed wire
Inside
to discourage trespassing and...
With multiple cameras on the outside of the building, CubeSmart says there's 24-hour security. That's
24-hour security is just as far as a camera. I mean, storage units are not cheap. So I actually use a storage unit myself. I never thought that you were supposed to have really expensive things in a storage unit. Now you can put insurance on it. You can go through like your regular insurance company like Progressive, or even the storage unit itself will charge you like extra $30. So if you do get broken into, they will reimburse you for your stuff. But oftentimes the stuff you put in storage is a little more priceless as far as like memorabilia or things that you just don't want to give up, but you don't have space to store, obviously, so you put it in storage. But I want to know some of the items that he got, and they don't tell us, but what the hell did he get that was worth $79,000 in storage units? Because like my storage ain't got nothing nearly that expensive in it. Yeah, well, it's not cheap stuff I got either, but it's also not like if I got hit, yeah, I'd lose a little bit of money. I ain't gonna put a number out there, but yeah, it would upset me if I got hit. But I do got insurance on mine though, so I guess I get paid back. But I don't know. I'd rather have my stuff though. I wouldn't even want the money. Like I'd rather just want the stuff that I got in there. That's why I'm keeping it. So be careful if you got your stuff at a storage unit, and don't put anything in there that you're not willing to lose, because you can't really protect it because it's off site, right? Like you're not seeing it all the time. And homegirl says she go to hers every day. Like that's kind of crazy. At that point, why not just have it at your house, depending on what it is? But this guy will be caught because he's just too easily identifiable. He's got the tattoos. He's got his face mostly exposed. And I'm pretty sure that he'll be caught eventually. But if you got stuff in the storage unit, be careful. And, you know, you might want to look out for that. Let's go ahead and go into a couple more things. All right, I want to do 2 more things. So let's go to the scammers and job postings, because as we're starting to lose work and get furloughed, we're seeing that people are trying to make adjustments at this point and figure out a way to get a job, because one of their other jobs, like, I mean, you look, Target headquarters, laying off 1,800 people. like actively as they get a new CEO. And, you know, we could talk about that, but that's happening right now. So, you know, Americans are feeling the crunch and they are trying to get postings, but scammers are saying, you know what? We're going to figure out a way to exploit this. Let's check it out.
As any job search would.
This is a recent story.
On ZipRecruiter for a major bank, a LinkedIn application for a tech startup, an email from a recruiter about a top PR job. But on the other end, it's not employers, it's scammers. Job scam recruiting texts and fake job postings are on the rise, according to the Federal Trade Commission, targeting the millions of Americans hunting for work and taking
when people are desperate,
of the slowing job market.
That's when you take advantage of
preying
them.
on the vulnerable, right? And I think people who are looking for work are vulnerable people in a way.
Timothy Brown encountered one of these scams on his job hunt.
I was certain that it was a real job when I first encountered it on a platform that I trust to be able to find jobs.
It's a new wave of scams. And some of those poorly worded text messages you've probably received.
ZipRecruiter.
Now, some fake listings are nearly indistinguishable from legitimate job postings. And they're popping up on trusted job hunting websites like ZipRecruiter and LinkedIn.
You cannot give these postings more credibility simply because they appear on a legitimate site. These sites are doing the best they can to vet and review these postings.
Nah, they're not doing enough. Stop it. They get paid a lot of money. ZipRecruiter is not hurting. They can go ahead and be a little more diligent and make people have to go through the proper channels to list a job. If somebody's listing a job that's going to pay somebody $50 an hour, that means that that company is making a significant amount of revenue, right? So at that point, if that's a legitimate company, there should be checks and balances to go ahead and get your job listed on there. You should have to identify yourself clearly, facial identification. You might have to link a bank account to the actual website before you can make a listing. You're going to have to upload photo ID. You're going to have to do a background check, social security number. So I don't think they're doing all of this, and I haven't looked into it, but I'm going to say that's most likely not the case if this much fraud is getting through. And let's go ahead and not, because we never hold these big corporations accountable. The same thing with the government shutdown. We're not holding the government accountable for what's going on. We're like blaming each other and cannibalizing each other at the bottom rather than saying the problems. Listen, complaints go up. They don't go down. So that's the reason that the CEO gets big bucks. And even if he wants to take a smaller salary, so he doesn't have to pay a whole bunch of money in taxes. So he'll take all of his salary in a stock, or he'll put all his money into a 401k to avoid taxes. That's all fine. But the bottom line is he's getting paid a lot of money because complaints go up. So you're going to have to go ahead and take responsibility when the people at the bottom are getting their shirts taken because you're allowing scams to be posted on your website. Stop it, man. And this woman right here is defending it. And it's disgusting. Look at her right there. Look, now I'm going to go back. Listen what she said. It's not ZipRecruiter's fault because they got a lot of plate on their plate. Well, they need to scale down then. Stop trying to take all the money. They want all the money, but then they don't want to take none of the accountability.
The best they can to vet appear on a legitimate site. These sites are doing the best they can.
Yeah, they're doing the best they can.
And review these postings. But there isn't some threshold where they are reviewing every single one before it gets posted.
Brown says
and
that
they should be
made him more susceptible.
because now Brown is getting.
If you're on a dating app,
no. He gonna get in dating apps. Where is he going with this? But nah,
Brown
listen.
says that trust.
Before we get to whatever he's about to talk about with dating apps, which is a whole nother topic, look at Brown. Look at Brown. He doesn't deserve it. He's done everything. He's all grayed out. And if he's in a position like this, he's made some mistakes. And I want to talk to the younger generation. Matter of fact, you know what? We got to do that on a different show. We got so much to talk about. Let's just finish this up. I can't go on another tangent right now because I don't have the time. But I want
Trust
to.
made him more susceptible.
If you're on a dating app and you're meeting people, everybody's a little bit careful because they don't know the person you're communicating with. But when you're on LinkedIn, the trust level is so much higher to begin with.
And Brown isn't alone. In the first half of the year, online job scams.
Brown, how is that possible? The dating app and the LinkedIn website or the ZipRecruiter website is actually similar. And you actually disproved your point when you said that, because what do they allow people to do? They allow random people to go out there and post their profile That's what a dating app does. A Bumble, a Tinder, they allow random people to upload themselves, to advertise themselves to a marketplace of suitors. That's all that they're doing on ZipRecruiter. They're allowing a person to market themselves to a group of suitors. It's no different. You got to look at the exact same way. There's no way I'm going to go on ZipRecruiter and I see a job where it says, yeah, you can just watch Netflix shows and get paid $80,000 a year just to be a Netflix show watcher. And all you have to do is do a short survey and say if you like the show or not. It's all multiple choice. And we'll pay you $25 an hour to do it. Like, come on, bro. How dumb do you got to be? Listen, Brown. No, Brown. Hey, I thought I was going to get me a job. They told me all I have to do is just look at different commercials, and if I think the commercial is good, I just have to put a 1, and then they will send me a check in the mail. But they told me that I have to first give them my bank account and deposit $500 just so I can prove that I'm a real person. And then when I deposited the $500, they didn't send me my check. I thought that I looked at like 5 commercials. I was supposed to get $5,000. Oh, yeah, I'm Brown. Look, I'm done with this. I'm not talking about it no more, at least not today. At least not today. Brown, I'm going to need you to be a little more responsible at your age. All right? I'm going to need you to be a little more responsible at your age. Nope, now you got to get it, Brown.
Are you just so old and ugly that you can't hear anymore?
Nah, because I don't like when people don't take accountability. And I'm going to leave Brown alone for now, but we're going to get back to this. Because it's getting crazy to the point where even the pets are starting to take a L. And this is the last one we're going to look at before I got to get out of here. So now all the pet parents are feeling the crunch and the animals are taking L because remember when pet parents were saying, you know what? I don't want no kids. My dog is my kid. My cat is my kid. F them kids. Just like the guy that was trying to give out fentanyl-laced Halloween candy. He called the kid a little worm because he didn't like his costume. Well, now the pets, they're being abandoned by these insignificant. So when you're a pet parent, I am actually starting to challenge your validity of how much you actually would care about a real kid if you can't even care about your pet kid. Because now we're seeing pets go ahead and be abandoned. This is crazy. Let's check it out. Last story.
Why someone might decide having a pet isn't right for them. Maybe it's a lack of time, energy, or money. But if you already have a pet and later find yourself in a situation like that, your options may feel limited. And unfortunately, people may resort to abandoning their pets. I visited one animal shelter in Wapello County that has seen an increase in animal abandonment cases, and workers say it's causing new problems.
Yep, and we're going to leave it right there because I'm teasing this. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about this in detail, and you're going to get a full rant. I'm going to go crazy on the pet parents. So if that's going to entice you, then make sure you're back here tomorrow because it's going to go crazy. I'm going to pause this right here because what we're going to do is we're going to get into our positive story of the day. And we're going to do that right now. All right. Big surprise for a beloved custodian.
The good news doesn't get as much attention as the bad. So every Saturday
If you're new here and you haven't been here, we always end on a positive story. We never, ever, under any circumstance, leave on a bad note. I want you to have a great day. I want you to eat good. So that's why I always feed you and I always leave you with something positive. We'll let this play out. I'll be back in a second.
we highlight the many people who spread joy and love. These are just some of those stories this week.
At Lothian Elementary School in Maryland, a surprise celebration for beloved custodian Lewis Watkins. They renamed the school gym and cafeteria after him to honor his 51 years of service.
Going to now be known as Watkins Cafe.
Mr. Watkins moved to tears.
Proud of it.
In Texas, it wasn't Santa, but another legend spreading joy.
I have a gift for you, $500.
Basketball superstar Shaquille O'Neal giving out $500 gift cards at a Texas J.C. Penney.
$500 gift card, brother. Merry Christmas.
Shocking shoppers Laura and Wendell Garrett. But that money, the Garretts are paying it forward, giving every cent to a favorite charity helping those in need.
It didn't even dawn on us to buy anything for ourselves. We're just gonna bless others.
There's people close around you that are struggling, that need just a little bit of help, that would make the world of difference to them.
And this was an early holiday blessing one family will never forget. Loved ones surprising 10-year-old Colson Delp by decorating the family's Las Vegas area home for Christmas.
The big tree.
Colson's Little League team there to support him too as he battles cancer. For Mom Samantha and firefighter Dad Chasen, that show of support means the world.
So, what was it like when you arrived and there is so much love?
Colson's just bawling. You could see all the people standing there caroling and neighbors and friends. The community just pulled together.
Chase, a lot of things that are difficult are made less difficult when you have family and friends behind you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What does that mean to each one of you?
It means everything. We definitely couldn't do this alone.
This is Christmas magic. This is what Christmas.
And I want to shout out all the firefighters. I think they are some of the best human beings on the planet. I've yet to see a bad firefighter, like an evil firefighter. I haven't seen one. Show me a story of a firefighter that's ever done anything corrupt. Out of every single profession that there is, I've never seen a bad firefighter. They're always great. Like, firefighters are so good to the point where people are comfortable dropping their baby off at a fire station. Like, I'm serious. Like, think about that. People are comfortable, like, if they want to get rid of their baby or something, or, you know, whatever the case is, or, you know, let's say like a father is about to, or a mother and a father, they got to like flee the country, but they know like having their kid on the run, you know, they're criminals or something like that. What's the first thing they're going to do if they got a newborn baby? They're going to go to a fire station, knock on the door, and then dart off. And they know 100% when a firefighter opens the door, swings it open and sees the baby there, they're going to take them in, take care of them, find them milk, change their diaper, make sure they're in the best situation possible, follow up with the baby. The baby might end up being a firefighter in the future. Like, it's crazy, man. Shout out to the firefighters. But I really want to highlight this guy, and I want to give you all the extra stories just because I thought it was cool. But, you know, as long as he was in the business is insane. And, you know, he's not, you know, a guy like this working 51 years. Was it 51? I think it was 51. Let me make sure. 73 to 2024. Yeah. 50 plus years of dedicated service, this guy. It just shows that, you know, when you, and he's one of the true heroes. We praise like basketball players and, you know, this guy can hit a home run and he ain't done nothing to help nobody. You know, like some of them do, but a lot of them are just like, eh. But this guy right here impacted generations of students' lives and has been there the whole time. And that's why I'm glad to see people like this get celebrated. So shout out to Mr. Watkins. Shout out to everybody that is doing the right thing in the world. And I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the best audience on the internet. It's not even close. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Give yourself a round of applause. I really appreciate y'all. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I gotta go, but I will be back tomorrow. And yeah, pet parents, you're gonna catch hell because I just thought about a lot of things and I got some things that we gotta talk about. And we got a lot more exciting stories to get to. We do this every single day, usually around the lunch hour. So just make sure that you're tuned in and you are here. And I'm always gonna feed you. I'll make sure you're taken care of. Thank you, y'all. Thank you, y'all. I appreciate you for your comment, Cooley. Everybody have a great rest of your day. All right. For me, I got some stuff that I got to do. My kid's birthday's coming up. It's coming up tomorrow. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do it. Do something special for him. You know, I think that kids' birthdays should be celebrated. If you're an adult and you ain't did nothing special, I don't know if your birthday should really get celebrated. But from 0 to 18, I think all kids' birthdays should be celebrated. That's just me. But I'm not like everybody else. All right, y'all. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.